Hey, what's up? It's Comic95, the Savior, and for this video, I will be giving you 25 tips to save you a ton of time on Tinder. This is geared towards girls who are looking for a serious relationship and don't want to waste their time. So let's state the obvious. As always, whenever you're using a dating app, of course, there are going to be tons of fuckboys, tons of guys that will waste your time. So you cannot be naive and have your guard down, especially as a foreign girl. Long story short, it's going to sound cringy, it's going to make people upset, but I'm going to be 100% honest with you, talking to you like you're my friend. And basically here in Japan, you're like a celebrity. Japanese people love foreigners, especially Japanese guys like foreign girls. Most of the foreigners that you see in Japan will typically be men. A lot of them are here as sex tourists. They're here for a short period of time. They have a fetish for Japanese girls. A lot of them don't have degrees. And there's girls doing this too, but I'm just telling you how most of people are here. They think, and it does work, that they can impress the local women here by being the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, tall guy who thinks he has a big dick, basically. So, not to say that all guys are like this or all guys are bad, but I'm just telling you that this is the type of foreigner they're used to dealing with. You don't normally see girls here. Now, don't get me wrong, there are definitely, busted girls that don't look good, girls that think that they're the crap because they are white. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just telling you what you will generally observe. And generally speaking, like, guys don't expect that you as a foreign woman will even be interested in dating them. So a lot of guys are super stoked and surprised they even matched with you to begin with, because they've been told that foreign women don't like Japanese guys because they have small dicks, they're too short, they're not, masculine, whatever. They know all the stereotypes. It's not just something that's an American secret. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. Again, I'm being honest with you. I won't even say blunt, like I'm talking to you like I would talk to my friend. Guys here love you. They don't expect you to like them back. They're happy and glad that you're giving them the time of day, but don't be wrong. Just because they're impressed by the fact that you are interested in dating them does not mean that they want you. A lot of these guys just want to check you off of their bucket list. They just want to have free and easy sex, and they view you as basically a whore. They're aware of all of the feminist movements and the fact that girls want to pay half, etc., and they will take advantage of you because of these things. So do be very careful. Even if you are a girl that likes to pay half, that likes to pay the entirety of it, I ain't judging you, that's great, but do keep in mind that men here will typically abuse that of you. I'm guilty of that too. I've been there, done that. Speaking from experience, if this is your first video of mine that you've watched, I highly suggest that you check out my playlist on dating in Japan. I have a ton of videos that talk about everything from what to expect on your first date to my own dating experiences, as well as me telling you about fuckboys, ghosting, everything else. So you can catch up watching those. So you will notice watching this video that a lot of things will overlap. But without further ado, because I can talk forever, let me go ahead and get to my 25 tips for you. Okay, so these are questions and or things you will see that are red flags. So both questions that the guy will ask you and or red flags that you will see from his profile. So I'll kind of jump back and forth. I won't give long explanations for each tip, so just listen to what I have to say. Number 1, if this guy is asking you where you live right off the bat, he's definitely just trying to use you for sex. He's not serious. Save yourself time. Don't waste, time messaging back and forth, because he's just trying to figure out your address so he can fuck you, see if you're close enough to have sex. Number 2, if this guy's asking you, do you like sex? If you're interested in sex, what kind of sex do you like? He's literally telling you up front his intention in meeting you. He's not trying to date you. He's not serious about you, because no guy would ask that to his potential girlfriend. Number 3, he's asking you what size bra do you wear? Once again, not an appropriate question to ask here in Japan. He is not just fascinated with the fact that you have a perfect body. He's asking you about your bra size because he has a fetish for breasts, like most guys in Japan do. And yeah, his sole purpose of meeting you is to basically motorboat. Number 4, he asks you, where do you usually play, or where do you normally meet guys? This is badly translated slang, which basically means, where do you have sex? This guy is telling you right up front, he thinks you're looking for hookups. So if that's not what you want to do, unmatch this guy. Number 5, he asks you, how many men have you met through this app or online, period. This is really stupid, and basically he's associating any guys that you've met and are dated and assuming that you've also fucked them. So this is his way of deciding if it's risky to be with you. Again, you might disproportionately get messages like this if you happen to be a dark-skinned black woman. It's a stereotype that black women, especially black people in general, but especially if you are from Africa or from an island country, it's assumed that you have an STD. So yeah, they assume that Africa, everywhere else like Jamaica, Haiti, etc. is full of AIDS, as they say. So with that being said, they're trying to check out, like, I know foreign girls like sex, I know you're from this country, is it risky to sleep with her? Is what they're basically trying to piece together. Guys, despite the fact that they're using Tinder or whatever, they want to have this nice, perfect virgin girl that somehow knows how to ride your dick, like a porn star. They want porn star qualities in their girlfriend, but they don't want you to have porn star history, basically. It's really stupid, but it's the way that guys work pretty much around the world. Double standard. Number 6, he wants to meet you late at night, and the reason is because he is planning to have sex with you. He wants it to be short and fast, maybe has a couple of hours, few hours, whatever, however long he can afford the hotel for, or maybe even he'll spend the night and then he's done. So yeah. Number 7, he wants to meet you at a hotel. Don't be fooled. You might have told this guy, oh, I'm not gonna have sex with you, and he might have even fooled you by saying something like, oh, it's not to have sex, it's just because I want somewhere private where we can talk, whatever. No, sweetheart, it's a lie. He's trying to trick you into taking off your panties, or he's going to drug you and rape you. I've been there, done that. I speak from experience. Don't do it. Number 8, his name on his Tinder profile is an S or an M. It took me a long time to learn and understand this, but long story short, if it says S, he's basically saying that he's dominant and he's looking for a girl that is a sub. If his name says M, nothing else, it means that he is a submissive man. He wants you to dominate him. I've gotten all kind of requests from guys, from men asking me to step on them, to kick their balls, to face sit, to have permission to lick my entire body and to pull them on a chain and call them my dog, like just everything. Also, stereotype, a lot of Japanese guys, white guys too, they assume that because I'm a black woman that I'm dominant, that I want to do that, which that is actually not true, but we're not gonna go there. So long story short, yeah, you will get messages like that from these people. If their profile has S or M, they're already telling you their purpose on this app is for hooking up, not to get a relationship, which again, being fair, a lot of people on any dating site, unfortunately, because guys don't like to play by the rules, ruin it, and most guys on any dating site are looking just for sex. But again, overall, it's worth it for the good people that you will meet in these places. But if you see an S or an M, just save yourself time. This guy didn't even bother to use a fake, name, whatever. He's literally telling you, I'm dominant or I'm submissive, so that you know what to look for sexually, or what to expect, I should say. Number 9, his profile pictures have sexually suggestive photos. So this can be something like a picture of him massaging somebody. It can be, a stock photo, whatever it happens to be. It can be a picture of cartoon characters or even animals having sex, which I think is really weird and borderline strange. But yeah, anyway, if he's literally showing you like the act of sex, like what do you think this relationship is going to end to, girl? He's clearly not looking for something serious. He's clearly looking to hook up. And again, if that's what you want, by all means, go ahead. But this video is not for you. It's for girls that want a real relationship and don't just want to get drilled for 2 seconds and then thrown to the curb. So, yeah. Number 10. He asks you if you live alone. This isn't because he cares about you or anything else, or he's trying to get to know you. He wants to know if you'd be willing to allow him to come to your place to have sex so that he doesn't have to pay for a love hotel. That's the only reason why he wants to know. And he's also assuming that you might be married, have a relationship, boyfriend, whatever. He don't want no drama. He don't want nobody to come out, chasing after him or whatever. He wants to save money, have free sex, is what it all comes down to. Keep in mind that also from the guy's perspective, it's a win-win situation. He doesn't have to clean up his dirty, junky, cheap, roach-infested apartment to bring you over, and he doesn't have to pay or split the bill on a love hotel. He can have all the time he wants in the world by going to your place, which is probably clean, nice, and you've probably gone all out to try to impress this guy who has no interest in being your boyfriend, who's only going to, fuck you and go. So yeah, and then plus he doesn't have to worry about you knowing where he lives, because if he brings you to his place, there's also risk involved in that sense, where now you know where he lives. What if you go crazy? What if you stalk him, etc.? Don't waste your time on this dude. Number 11, he asks if you have a boyfriend. So once again, this is another one of those really stupid things. A lot of guys have no problem with playing you and pretending to be your boyfriend, but a lot of guys will actually get upset or be angry if they find out that you are married and or have a boyfriend and you were trying to have an affair or cheat with them. It's so stupid. But the other funny thing is a lot of these guys are also cheating themselves. They're cheating on their wife, they're cheating on their girlfriend, but they get upset if you were doing the same thing. So I don't know if it's because of STDs or if it's because of morals or what, maybe both. But yeah, this just stupidly upsets them for whatever reason. Number 12, he says that he loves you. If you're a stupid foreigner, you might think, oh, it's cute, he's saying he loves me early on. No. He doesn't really mean it. He's saying this because he thinks it will help encourage you to sleep with him. They've been taught through media that foreigners say I love you a lot and that it's needed to feel reassured in a relationship. So he's literally doing what he thinks it takes to get in bed with you. He doesn't really love you. He doesn't really care about you. He doesn't know you girls. Like, come on, think to yourself. It's a game. Number 13, if you say you're not looking for a boyfriend, he will try to push you into reconsidering him as your boyfriend. Once again, for this guy, he would rather trick you into thinking that you're his boyfriend than to just find another girl, because maybe you're really cute, you seem really easy, he wants to experience your body, he wants to experience a foreigner, and for him, he thinks, if I can just trick her into thinking that I'll be her boyfriend, I can not only get free sex this time, but I can have this girl on speed dial. If I want to have sex again for free or for cheap, I can just call her back up. She thinks I'm her boyfriend. It's a game. He doesn't really care about you ever getting into a relationship again. Don't waste your time spilling out your heart and telling him how much your ex broke your heart and hurt your little feelings. He doesn't really care about your personal life. In fact, the more damaged you are, the more you reveal to him, the more you're hurting yourself, because he's going to use all of this against you to play, manipulate you, play mind games to get sex, and then he'll be nowhere to be found. He'll ghost you. Number 14, his profile explicitly states that he's only looking for foreigners, or he explicitly tells you or hints to you that he prefers foreign women over his own Japanese race. That might seem cute and flattering to you, as I've said in another video, but honestly, it's a red flag, and this guy's clearly looking for sex. Once again, based on stereotypes, foreign girls, easy, love sex. That's the reason why he prefers you over Japanese women. No games, don't have to spend any money, and you get even better sex, better body, better girlfriend, better everything is what he has inside of his mind. It's not for a good reason. Number 15, he asks you what you're looking for. This is a really good trick question that guys try to play on you. You will see this on every platform, but Tinder definitely is one to look out for. If a guy's asking you what you're looking for, it's not out of innocence because he cares about you, loves you, wants to get to know you, but rather he wants to become the person that you're looking for. So if you tell him that you're looking for a boyfriend, he'll say, oh, I'm looking for a girlfriend too. I haven't had a girlfriend in X amount of time. You say you want a funny guy? He has all the jokes. You say you want a tall guy? He's got 5-inch, heel stoppers inside the back of his shoe. He's whatever you want him to be. You like a guy with nicely styled hair? He'll have that ready for you. You like a guy in a suit? He'll come wearing a suit and tie. Anything to get that pussy. So be careful with this. If I were you, I wouldn't answer that question. I would either unmatch the guy, or if you have a good feeling about him, I would just say, I don't know, what are you looking for? Leave it at that. More than likely, I promise you, I'll just say 10 out of 10 times. If a guy asks you that, he's a fuckboy. But if you want to be fair, fine, we'll say 9 out of 10. It is very unlikely that this guy means anything good by asking you that. It seems like a harmless question, but again, it's very deceitful. It's not good. Number 16, he plans your date at a cheap place such as a cheap karaoke bar, a cheap cafe, or a cheap izakaya. You might not think anything of it because maybe you like maybe you like yakitori, maybe you like ramen, maybe you like, coffee, maybe you enjoy karaoke. But keep in mind, if this guy was really serious about you, he doesn't want to take you to a cheap place on your first date. He wants to impress you. The fact that he's openly telling you that that's the place he wants to meet you at or take you to, it ain't a good idea. He's clearly telling you he doesn't want to invest in this relationship. And you best believe that in a lot of these cases, they're still going to ask you to split the bill. Or they'll play the I don't have any money game. So if they don't do that, of course they can pay the bill because it was cheap. They probably only spent $20 or $30 between the two of you. So it's not a lot of money. It's better than paying, a hooker $400 or $500 for a couple of hours. It's definitely a better deal. So anyway, yeah, this is not good. He's not trying to impress you. It's not a serious date for him. Number 17, he invites you to his house. Once again, it might seem innocent, but it's normal in Japan. It's not normal in Japan for a man to take a girl to his house unless they're already in a serious relationship and they've known each other for a minute. Going to someone's house instantly implies that you're having sex with them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts or anything in between. If you go to a guy's house, you had sex with him. If you go into his house, he's assuming that you're willing to have sex with him. You're putting yourself in a very dangerous situation, and legally, if something bad happens, Japan does not see, the stuff that we do in the US. Date rape is not a thing here, as I've said before. He will be able to get away with it, and you don't know what type of guy you're, meeting. It's dangerous, it's risky, it's not worth it. And once again, if you're looking for real love, he would never in a million years dream of asking you to come to his home for a first date. Don't do it. Number 18, he invites himself to your house. So just like number 17, once again, it's not appropriate and it's actually very rude, but he'll normally try to weasel his way in. He'll say something like, oh, well, I live with my parents, but since you have your own place, don't fall for that broke boy shit. If he ain't got money to take you to the hotel, he ain't got money to take you on a date, he don't have his own place, why the fuck would I bring you into my house as a woman? So yeah, don't do that. He's playing you. He's trying to get everything for free. He's trying to use you for sex. Number 19, he asks you for your line ID before even getting to know you. He might have forgotten to even ask you simple things like your name, your age, your occupation. You might think, oh, it's in my profile, but did he ask you? If the first messages you exchange is just saying, nice to meet you, hi, oh, you live in Japan? Okay, what's your line ID? No, that's not a good sign. Clearly a fuckboy. Number 20, he forgets to formally introduce himself. It's pretty customary, standard, whatever, for Japanese men to talk about things like their school, their salary, tell you what they do for a living, tell you about their, marital status, single, talk about kids, colors, favorite food, whatever. If he forgets to do all of the stuff and it's just, straight up asking you direct, blunt questions, what job do you have? How many guys have you fucked? Where do you live? Where do you normally meet people? Come on, use your brain. He's using you. He just wants to have sex. He wouldn't forget these things if he was serious about you. He would normally want to instantly introduce himself by telling you his real name, especially if he has like a fake Tinder name or whatever that he uses. For example, a lot of guys here use the name Taro or whatever. It's the equivalent of like Jane Doe in Japanese, pretty much. It's a fake, fake name basically. It's not real. So he should correct this if his real name isn't already on his profile. And sometimes they'll use other, fake names or whatever, like Kazuya, Kazuma, whatever, like other old stuff that's not really their name. He might do other fake stuff to hide his identity from you. And again, if he doesn't think or doesn't remember to correct this stuff after talking to you, getting to know you, it's unlikely that he was ever serious about you, because the first thing he'd want to do is make sure you're calling him by the right name. He won't be secretive about things like his last name, his first name. He won't tell you the actual place he works at normally, but you should know his real occupation. If he's being really, generic, lying about stuff still, like there's so many fake doctors on Tinder. Everybody says doctor, and it's like, dude, you're like 25 years old. Like, what kind of doctor are you? A dentist? An optometrist? Like, you're not a medical doctor. Like, stop. But again, like anything to get girls, guys driving rented, Ferraris, etc. Pretending like this is their car and they can give you that lifestyle, or showing bikes that they don't own, etc. These things should be corrected before you guys meet in person. Number 21, he's in a rush to meet you now. He doesn't want to wait. He wants to see you either today, this weekend, like just now. He's not patient. He doesn't care what your excuse is. He wants to see you as soon as possible. He's very frantic and he tries his best to rush things along. So if you're someone that likes to sit back, likes to wait, and you're like, oh, like, you know, I want to wait till I get paid, give me a couple of weeks. I've literally done this with guys, and they'll be like, oh, well, I just want to go to McDonald's. McDonald's? Do you know how old I am? Fuck no. So again, if I know you, where we've been together for a minute, sure. But for a first date, absolutely not, especially if you're talking about meeting late at night. You're clearly a fuckboy, and for you, this is a means of saving money. You're trying to just have sex. You're hoping that you can buy me a McDouble and then fuck me at a hotel afterwards. I'm not stupid. Don't fall for that crap. If he's serious about you, he can wait. Number 22. He only messages you or replies to messages and calls late at night or early in the morning. It's because he's not serious about you. He's probably talking to tons of other girls, and he only messages you when he's feeling horny late at night, early in the morning before work, and he might even get back to you days later, etc. Basically, whenever he remembers you, goes through Tinder again, he ain't looking for nothing serious. If he was serious about you, he'd be on you with those messages. He'd be replying back instantly. When he replies late, he'd be apologizing and literally mean it. I'm not talking about that guy that forgets to message you back for a month or, you know, even a week or several days. No. He just wasn't interested. He saw your message, but he's probably either talking to other girls or he doesn't have the money or time to have sex right now, so he's waiting until he does. Number 23, he goes through your social media and only likes your sexually suggestive photos and or videos. I cannot tell you how many guys I've had do this with me. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see what I'm talking about. I literally have people that will find me on Instagram and they will like every single last picture that, you know, they see me in, where I'm by myself, not with my ex, not with anybody else, in which I look sexy. And you might say, oh, it's a compliment, he likes your body, whatever. No. He's telling you what's on his mind already. He just wants to fuck you. If you are thinking anything else, you're thinking he's serious about you, you're going to be in for getting your heart broken. It's not a good sign. Number 24, he's visiting from out of town. This is like a reverse sex tourist. Japanese guys do it within their own country too. You will literally have guys that come from Tokyo to Osaka, whether it be a businessman or a student, and their goal is just to meet foreign girls to have sex, and vice versa. There are tons of guys in the reverse that go from Osaka to Tokyo because Tokyo is known for being the center for foreigners. There's way more people to meet there. So you'll literally have people that are only coming there to, you know, visit for a short time with the intention of having sex. And once again, they will say whatever you want to hear. You want to believe they're going to come back to see you again. You want to believe they're going to have sex with you again. You want to believe that you're going to be his girlfriend. Go ahead by all means. But it's a trap. It's a trick. He's a player. Don't waste your time on this guy. Number 25. This is arguably like the most obvious, clear sign. But just as I said with, you know, SM on their profile name and having sexually suggestive photos, a lot of the time you can tell that you're wasting your time with a fuckboy just by reading his bio. A lot of guys here are very upfront. They'll have things like how much they're willing to pay. They will tell you about, you know, what they want to do, their fetishes, etc. Just read his bio. If you can't read Japanese, translate it. I have to do it too. You'll get so much information from, you know, reading their bio on Tinder, their profile. It'll tell you if they're just looking for sex. It'll tell you, you know, if they just want to play, which that's what that means. Anything along those lines. Don't believe what he's saying to you. Trust what's inside of his bio, or the lack thereof. I also believe in doing the reverse. Generally speaking, a guy that has nothing to write or very little to write, it's unlikely that he's very serious. Although I will say on the flip side, you will meet some guys that are serious, are good guys that don't write a lot. But generally speaking, let the guy speak for himself. His profile is clearly showing you he wants to have sex. He's saying it all throughout his profile, what he's looking for sexually. It's talking about threesomes. He's talking about his wife. Run and don't waste your time. So this video is not to scare you. Once again, I'm done with my 25 tips. That's just my personal opinion, personal advice, things that I would look for as red flags on Tinder. Don't get discouraged. There are tons of bad guys there, just like with any app, just like in real life. I made videos talking about, I made a whole playlist on dating online, but people treat online dating like it's something totally different from dating in real life. The only difference is that you met the guy online versus in person. It's the same fuckboy you can meet at the grocery store, girls. It's no difference. So there's no like comparison with the two things. You have a greater chance of meeting somebody that's serious about you online than you do waiting around at the supermarket and hoping that a cute guy walks in and actually has a crush on you and is single. So be safe, be careful out there. I don't suggest having sex with people and playing a numbers game. Be careful about who you choose as your partner. Be careful about going to meet people. Always tell, multiple people where you plan to go, how long you should be gone. Bring your own money, bring your own phone, have your own Wi-Fi device or cell phone service. Do not trust anyone. You need both cash and a card. You should always have your IC card on you. And again, always have your phone, emergency contacts. I always bring my passport and my Zydu card, your residence card. Take everything with you at all times. So you never know what's going to happen. You might need to get a taxi. Your date can be crazy. Trust your gut. If something doesn't feel right, cancel it, leave. You don't have to worry. I have literally left so many dates. It's crazy. So I've literally gone all the way to a guy's house because I was stupid and didn't realize he was trying to have sex with me. And then literally turned around, changed my mind, and went home. And he probably felt embarrassed and felt like, what the fuck is wrong with Tyler? You came all the way here, wasted my time just to say no. So, yeah. Don't be a good girl with a bad boy. It ain't worth it. There's plenty of good guys here. You will meet somebody that's for you. Don't try to force something to work that wasn't meant to be. And don't get too fixated on guys' looks. A lot of you girls be crying over guys being fuckboys. And again, I mean, no shade, no harm. Remember, Japan is a different country. This is not the US. So things that you think are cool and okay in the US are not. For example, dating a guy that smokes weed, has tattoos, has exotic piercings and a split tongue, etc. that you see on Tinder, you might be thinking, oh, he's so cool, or oh, I want him to lick my pussy, whatever. But it's like, girl, get real with yourself. Do you want an STD? Do you want to break your heart? Do you think this guy is really going to be serious about you? And I hate to judge a book by its cover, but we also have to call a spade and be real. Anybody with that look or appearance is definitely not a salary man here. He cannot support you and a family, and he's very unlikely to be serious about dating and marrying a foreigner. And if you do, you're looking at struggle love. So if you're okay with, having to, live paycheck to paycheck, not being able to take maternity leave, not being able to have a nice place, that's totally on you. But I'm telling you, be careful before you end up getting knocked up and pregnant. And don't think that you can do this as a shortcut to avoid getting a visa. It don't work that way. Japan does not grant visas and residency based off of your children like how you can do in the US. You cannot do that to get citizenship here. You need to be in a legitimate legal marriage. So this video ain't about that. I'm not here to hurt your feelings. I'm just being real with you. If you have more questions about dating in Japan, please check out my playlist on dating, or you can read my blog at comic95.com. Other than that, I would appreciate it if you would leave a comment down below if you have any questions, comments, things you'd like to add. And I would also appreciate it if you would like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Otherwise, you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and you can like my Facebook page and add me on Snapchat as well. Thank you so much for watching.